Because there are so many horror movies in the 80s, or, well, so many famous ones, there tend to be a lot of them that fall through the cracks, and I think that one of them is John Landis's An American Werewolf in London, released in 1981. It tells the story of two hikers who are hiking throughout England. After a stop at a really shady pub, they get lost and attacked by what they later learn is a werewolf. One of them dies, while the other gets simply bitten by the wolf, and, well, is doomed to become a wolf at the next full moon. Other side effects include horrific nightmares and seeing his victims as, well, projections, as they are not completely dead, they are the living dead, or, well, they're in a kind of limbo, if you will. And until the last werewolf passes away, they will never truly go to heaven or hell. They'll just stay in purgatory. The reason to watch this movie is absolutely Stan Winston and his makeup. Let's give a rose to the late Stan Winston. He was truly one of the all-time greats. Not only did he work on this movie, but he would have a long and lengthy career. Because in the early 80s, CG really wasn't all that much of a thing, all of this had to be done practically, or as creative a fashion as possible. And that's what makes this movie awesome. You don't see David in his final wolf form until the very end of the movie. However, what makes it so good, or at least better than the norm, is that the camera is used creatively to, see the point of view of the wolf. And through other creative edits, you know the wolf is there, but you don't truly see it until the very end. I love that. It's just as terrifying because you don't see anything. And so when the wolf strikes, it has double the impact. And can I just talk about the werewolf transition just for a second? Because my god, this is just... It's honestly a bit of a miracle in terms of makeup and prosthetics. When you see David finally transition into the werewolf, it's painful to watch because you can tell that he's going through pain because he's just screaming at the top of his lungs, but you see the hair grow, you see his body contort in all sorts of twisted ways, his spine grows up and out, his face stretches out to resemble more of a wolf, his feet and hands extend. It's genuinely painful stuff. I've heard this described as a horror comedy, and there are definitely some funny moments. However, I feel this is more of a horror movie than a comedy, and that was honestly the right move. David Naughton plays, well, David Kessler. Not that much of a stretch in the name department. But this is the role that he is best known for, and I looked up his IMDb, and he would play these smaller roles in these other movies. I think his last credit was a Lifetime Christmas movie from 2019. And that's kind of a shame, because he did really well in this movie. He wasn't too over the top. He sold it about as well as one might expect when we learn, hey, we're a werewolf. He has a romance with a hospital nurse that I really like. There are other side characters that we don't see a ton of. This is really the David Naughton show. However, you like the relationship with his friend, both living and dead, no spoilers. And the soundtrack to this movie is really good as well. It risks being a bit on the nose as most of the songs involve moon at some point, like Blue Moon, Bad Moon Rising, and Moon Dance by Van Morrison. However, it fits in with the werewolf theme, so it's really cool. I hadn't seen this movie in a really long time, and I'm so glad that I finally got to rewatch it, because it's really underrated, and nobody really talks about it, or I feel like nobody talks about it, and I think more people should.